Our focus areas are based on SDG 10, so Sustainable Development Goal 10, which is reducing inequalities in and among people. So that kind of lays the foundation of all our CSI work. And we've got 3 focus areas. The one is education. You cannot reduce inequalities without focusing on education and providing access to quality education. So that's number 1. Number 2 is financial inclusion. You cannot, again, reduce inequalities unless there's some focus on poverty, on financial inclusion, on really just leveling that playing field. And then the last focus area is employee engagement. For us, it's important as a business to empower our employees to give back, to make it a little bit easier for them, to give them access to opportunities, and just get them into the community and to be able to give back. So those are our 3 focus areas. So in terms of being a successful employee volunteering platform, I think the key driver is having your company and the company at large. I'm speaking about Exco, I'm speaking about heads of departments, really just driving it, so they need to see the value of having an employee volunteering platform, of giving such a thing access to our employees. And they need to be able to drive that, so getting involved. So for example, we hosted a virtual reading session last year, and we had some of our Exco members actually attend that session and be part of it, dress up, run around on camera, do the funniest things. But that's how you drive participation and the importance of something like that. As mentioned earlier on, I think it's important to just create that culture within your business, so a culture of giving back. And then I think also what's important is to look at incentives. So for example, at Mukuru, we have a day's leave that a person can take specifically to volunteer. And I think it's great to have something like that, because it speaks to the fact that we actually value volunteering, we value giving back. So it's not just saying you go and do this, but it's also saying you are doing this, and so in return we are going to give you something. For Good have been incredible. So as mentioned earlier on, one of our focus areas are employee engagement, and so that's very important for us. And so looking at the focus areas, we wanted to find a tool that we could use to increase our employee engagement and get more employees volunteering into communities, giving back. And so it made perfect sense to partner with For Good, and they've really just helped us to get more employees involved, get more employees giving back. We've seen amazing growth over the last year of just employees not just registering on the platform, but actually attending events, actually volunteering. Employees who might not even come to an event or participate in a campaign, but they find something suited for themselves that meets their niche, and then they're able to do that very thing. And so they've definitely helped us to zone in on that focus area and to achieve great growth in that area. There's a lot of highlights. I'd like to mention all of them, but I think a few that stands out for me is World Food Day. And World Food Day, because I can compare it to the year before. So we hosted our first World Food Day. We partnered with For Good and Rise Against Hunger to pack meals. And so in October 21, we hosted one, and we had about a handful of staff who attended on the day and came through and assisted. And I mean, it was a great event. It was lots of fun. But last year, October 22, we saw such a huge growth. We were able to expand, not only hosted in Cape Town, but also hosted in Gauteng. And then also we just had so many people come out on the day and actually volunteer. Like, the space we used was packed. We ran out of meals to pack. We ran out of space. It was just, it was incredible. So I think World Food Day is definitely a highlight for me, because it shows the growth, it shows the difference. And then other ones that stand out for me, I've mentioned this earlier on, is our virtual reading sessions, because people are able to access that wherever they find themselves, and quickly, like they're behind a desk doing something and they can quickly log on, do that for an hour, log off, get back to work, and it gives you that nice break in the day. And another one that stood out for us was we hosted a virtual self-defense workshop. and you saw ladies standing at their desk doing moves. Yeah, it was incredible. And it also just started a conversation in our company around women, around GBV, around protecting yourself, which I think is so important. So yeah, I would say those three. I think number one, the platform is really easy to use. You can figure it out quite simply by yourself, and it's accessible from your laptop, from your mobile. Also, you are able to connect to opportunities that are specific to you and your interests. So you're not confined to what the work is offering, but at the same time, if you wanted to join an event, you could do that. So I think it just makes it a little bit easier. So I think that's one of the reasons that employees are drawn to the site and make use of it. So employee volunteering continues to be a trend for CSI. You're seeing more and more employees looking for companies that have something like an employee volunteering platform, or that allow employees to give back. They want to make sure that the company they work for actually invests in communities. So that's a huge trend. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. So I think we've already been able to touch on that through our partnership with For Good and through our platform, which is called Mukuru Cares. And further to that, we're looking to expand that platform. So currently that platform only allows us access to organizations in South Africa, and given that we're a global organization, we want to grow the reach, and so we are looking at launching to Zimbabwe and Malawi, and including those organizations in our platform, which I think is going to just change things it's going to change things for us in a big way. And then the other trend that I'd like to mention is digital transformation, and just making sure that some of the work that you do or projects that you do speak to a generation where it's all about things that are accessible, easily accessible via an app or via WhatsApp. And so we're also launching a financial literacy tool that allows you to access it via WhatsApp, via the web, and via the app.